There we go. All right. Good morning, everyone. Let me get all the screens set up here. Go live for the Discord as well. I gotta get the chats up over here. Sorry for the delay. I was getting my camera all set up, but we are good to go now. Let's see. I'll pull up SPY as well. Pull up SPY and Qs. I'm already interested in taking a long off of the data that we had pre-market. I think my mic is coming in all set. Yep, we're good. So I'm already interested in having the long pre-market off data. Really weird looking chart for Project X. What I'm going to try to do today, and I'm sure Andre will be watching this video, very motivational from you to post that you had 8,000 words without a filler word. I know that I'm pretty bad at doing that, so I'm going to try to be better about not using ums, buts, ands, unless absolutely needed. So excuse me while I get the Discord all set up here. Disconnected. I just need the chats up over here. Okay, all set. This will also be a face reveal for me, so welcome in, everyone. Session disconnected. I want to connect back over here. I do not need it open on my laptop. All right, so we had data come out this morning. I'll pull that market data up. Market data this week. Sorry about the audio on the keyboard, if you guys can hear that. I need to go and fix that somehow. This morning we had job employment numbers. So we had delayed report from November, and then we had the actual 2 November reports. And we also had 2 reports from October. And then we have PMI business inventories at 945. Decent wick up, I'd say, 611.90. Shot us right back into previous day's low. So not yesterday's low, but shot us into Friday's low, which is still holding up as a resistance. You guys been cool, IXQ. Welcome in, welcome in. So let me go ahead and go live for everything here. I know I already said I was going to do that, but I was a little delayed. Okay, there we go. Share screen. Also using my PC. I haven't used that for quite a while. Okay. All right, so going over to our previous day's 50 and London 50. This is the first thing that I include for price targets for the day, what we're going to have rejections off of, retest. Yet again, another inside bar stat. Actually, it depends on where we open. We're just at previous day's low right now. There we go. So previous day's low was right at 8 p.m. last night. I'm not sure. I don't know if anyone was trading futures last night, but we had like a 120-point drop out of nowhere at 10:30, 8:30. Sorry. That was well after that Asia open. So there's our previous day's 50 and our London 50 right there. London 50 lines up with previous day's low. No data that we're going to be taking a look at for today. We have inside bars. That one's dependent on if we open above or below previous day's low, but given that we're right at that level, probably not going to be all that significant of a data point. Then going over to SPY. Why did it disconnect on all these? Oh, I opened up on my laptop. That's right. On SPY, same thing. So previous day's low. Let me go and take a look here. Previous day's low, previous day's high on SPY. Still that 8 p.m. window. And then that is our London 50 right there. Gap fill report, we're pretty much flat right now, 0.28%, but not as flat as we were. We did close the gap and we were at 0.1% this morning. Gap fill report on Qs, 0.2%. We're looking at a decent chance of having a fill today. We're looking at 0.5 for the gap up and then 0.67 for the gap down. And we have a gap down right now. So we should have a fill of that up to 610.89. 67%, 2/3, not that bad. So I'll be expecting probably a move up to 613.58 at least. And then on the 4-hour chart, and this came directly from Leo and Frenchie, I should have respected this a little bit more yesterday. In the 4-hour chart, we have a pretty massive, go ahead and close this, pretty massive inverse fair value gap, and get this by turning off the extended sessions. Trading canvas symbol, there we go. So just going to regular trading hours. This is the fair value gap in the 4-hour that we have right there. And that's what we ended up going and rejecting yesterday. So if we get back up that same level, mine still looks a little bit different than theirs, but around the same. If we get back up into that fair value gap, then we might have a rejection back down. More settings, go back into extended trading section. Main reason I use extended hours, and I think this is something that absolutely everyone should do, extended trading hours includes another 80% worth of data. So if you guys aren't using extended session, there's 80% more data. New York sessions only open 9:30 to 4 every day. That means from 4 to 9:30 the following morning, that's another 2/3 of the day that you are not getting data on if you just use regular trading hours. And then the same thing for the weekend as well. So if you guys aren't using extended trading hours and you're just using regular trading hours, you're missing a lot of data on the chart. That's data that could be helping you make informed decisions. Any questions from anyone right now? Good morning, Abe, Diesel, Rebo, Terrence, how you doing? I don't think I ended up getting I didn't. Get that up in the top right corner. And I guess I might as well go ahead and do this for the Discord as well. Yeah, there we go. That should be coming up fine. Network connections. Okay, guess I won't run that on. Do you ever look at GCYM, RCY? Yes, I look at SPY sometimes. I never really look at and this might be an issue that some people have, I never really look at the actual index itself. So NQ, ES, GC. I almost always go and look at QQQ, which is NQ, SPY, which is ES, or GLD, which is gold. Also IWM, which is your YM, or RTY, I mean. So these ones I don't trade on by using the chart because they don't have slippage on the chart. If you go over to Qs, and obviously Trading View and TradeAvate's not going to have slippage, but Project X does, and I just need to get off Project X. These ones have slippage on this chart. As you can see, it's vastly different than what Qs is showing for this morning. Like, we have this actual wick here. There's no wick on this candle. This candle just completely froze on Project X. So I'm trying to think of what would be filler words. I need to eliminate those completely. No questions from any of you guys. I'm trying to get the face cam on in the Discord. There's no wick on the 4-hour NQ from yesterday. Yeah, there's no. We opened yesterday. We opened and just died. There's a small wick at 8 a.m., but on the 24-hour, there's no wick. Even from pre-market, we had a little teeny tiny wick up pre-market right from that 4 a.m. open 624.55, and then just plummeted from there. We had no real continuation. So I will be looking for a move back up to data highs. We already swept data lows. We have yet to sweep data highs. We go to the 5 minute as well. The 5 minute, 3 minute. I like having the 5 second chart on here. It's not for use. The only reason that it's not for use in trading. The only reason that I use it is to see how much I might have missed. So say I would have been in long at 25,250, and I'm just now updating the chart, looking at the chart. It's still at 25,250. I go to the 5 second to see where the wick to, or where it wicked to, 25,277. If you go on the 5 minute or 3 minute, you can't really see, especially on the 5 and 15 minute. That wick could have happened 10 minutes ago. It could have happened 2 seconds ago. There's no telling. How do you measure stops looking at Qs and trading NQ? I use the same, I have a mechanical approach to it. So I use the same exact stop loss on Qs pretty much every time I enter the trade. It's 35 points. Or if I'm entering based on validation, currently sitting at 4 hour fair value gap. Thank you, Sam. If it's based on validation, I use the London 50 previous day's low, whatever it might be, for invalidation as well. So if my validation on the trade is an entry over London 50 at 608.80 and the 15 minute closes underneath that level, why am I in the trade? There's no reason for me to be in the trade after that. I really want to, I don't know why it says it's delayed. It should be coming in fine. What I do need to do, how do I get the, well, let me do this off screen, see if I can. I don't want the white at the top. I need to get the Firefox to dark mode. There we go. Dark mode. There we go. That's much better. Much better. We're getting a nice bounce off London 50 already. I really want to go and see those data highs. We haven't swept those yet. So, a surprise for all of you guys in here. Sam, Abe, Full of Diamond, Patrick, Phil. Let's see if this works now. Did it pull up? I need to figure out how to get it on the actual chart. It's loading. It will work, I'm sure. MNQ H26. Oh, yeah, I forgot we had a contract roll. I think that was yesterday, the day before. For reports, I'm not trading gold anymore during New York. I'm sure it will come back to working relatively soon, but I've been burnt on it 3 days in a row trying to trade the IB, especially yesterday. I guess I should have targeted the IB low. Hindsight's 2020, but I got stopped out on a wick before, like 20 seconds before the IB was formed. Why is it not working? That's already being used by someone else. I got it. What's going on, Wall Dive? Zaza, good morning. The measurements, I think I already answered your question, but the measurements on Qs, it's just a mechanical trading approach. So it's based on the sizing that I want to have. Let me click that. If I enter, I usually enter with 1 or 2 MNQ. So if I enter with 2 MNQ, I usually put the stop at 35 points. If I enter with 1, I put the stop at 50 points. And that comes out to $100 on 1 MNQ, $150 for a risk on 2 MNQ. Session disconnected. Oh, that's why. I I have it open on my chart over here. I see. There's no look on the 4 hour from yesterday. Currently sitting inside 4 hour fair value gap. I don't know why mine looks so different. Like my 4 hour chart compared to yours looks. Oh, you're on M and Q. That's why I'm an idiot. No, it still looks so different. What is that? 4 hour fair value gap. I have a 15-minute delay. Yeah, but look at the drop on these two. I don't know. It's just not working out there for me. That's why I don't use the 4 hour chart. Might be December versus March contracts. Yeah, we're in H26. So it's March next year contracts. 2026. See on the watermark. I re-added the watermark because I almost accidentally keep trading NQ for whatever reason. Every time you go on Project X and you switch over to your mobile device or another device, it refreshes the ES. The link refreshes the ES. I have no idea why. Block NQ. QQQ and M and Q should be the same thing though. Like your screenshot, your chart has a drop from here down. Mine's just even all the way from yesterday's lows, which is kind of weird. So we do have this same gap right here, same fair value gap. We almost got up to 50% again. Very, very close. That would have been the same exact short setup as yesterday, which I just completely missed. I fumbled on. Happens. What is your favorite execution time frame? I pretty much only stick to the 15-minute. I very rarely stray from the 15-minute. Sometimes I go down to the 5-minute. Sometimes I use the 5-second, like I just said, just to see where the trade spikes up or down. But for the most part, I just use the 15-minute. Was not expecting a Zinc face review this morning. Oh, this camera's not working on Discord. But I will get a alert out right now on Twitter. Face review. Come hop in. Okay. I do want to get some music going too. I don't know if YouTube would ban me from music, so I won't be able to. How you doing, Tony, Rebo, Terrence, Sam, Patrick, Full Diamond, Bullnuts, Diesel? Here's NQ4R. Thank you, Sam. I'll just go and get my charts from you, Sam. I figured it out. I just need to use NQ. Gold is ripping right now. Holy. $5 move from pre-market lows. What does that come out to on MGC? Weird NQ and MNQ chart looks different on screenshot. Yeah, you understand what I was saying now? They were very off. NQ is the accurate one, I believe. I blocked trading on MGC for now in the risk settings. This is a ticker that I will not be trading. Add block, current block symbols. I will not be trading that. You wanted to buy gold pre-market. This would have been a $600 move on just one micro. Took a lot on M&Q short based on Frenchie's analysis earlier. There you go. Hair's all crazy this morning. Cold weather's killing it. Okay, we'll be looking for, we have 5 minutes into open here. I'll be looking for a move off London 50, preferably up to 612, which will also be A, a sweep of the high, and B, it will be a sweep of 50%, or actually 100% of today's gap fill. Since we are within the, we're closing in on the first bracket actually, which will increase it by 1%, but still an increase nonetheless. 68% chance that we have a fill up to 100% of the gap today. Or 68% chance that we fill the entire gap that we made pre-market overnight into pre-market 611.77. Nice move up. How much you end up getting on that short, Eddie? Gold is still going. We have another inside bar stat on gold for today. Never ended up taking the low from yesterday, which is a little sad to see. Took it late, so nothing so far. Oh, you just entered. I get you. We're pretty much right at previous day's 50. I don't even know why I'm charting this. I do not want to trade gold today. I'll stay on SPY. That's not SPY. SPY is just below London 50, 4 minutes into open, or 4 minutes to open. Qs is over London 50. A little divergence there. Tesla has been a great hold. Spelled it wrong. Shame on you, Hunter. Shame on you. You spelled it wrong. I'm so disappointed in you. There you go. Tesla should be back at 500. Auto-corrected. I'll forgive you. Tesla should be back at, well, we're already at all-time highs right now. We cleared those yesterday. 479.46. Sorry, 52-week highs. We should be at 488. That's the next price target on here. Right there, 48.50. And then we'll have a move, I think, up to 500, sweep back down to those previous all-time highs. And then keep on keeping on. Something like that. For these Lucid accounts, I am so close. I'm one trading day away. Again, it's taken me like a week and a half, 2 weeks extra just because of how bad price action was last week. Maybe that's just a poor excuse, but this is what I tried trading last week, and it just went negative 100, negative 150, negative 100, plus 200, negative 100. So it just delayed it, and then I ended up hitting a pretty big day on Monday. So I think I need like 400 left. They tell you on the dashboard. I'm not really worried about it, though. I have 2,700 in equity per account. It's the consistency that's getting to me. I think it's like 9 trading days or 10 trading days that have been going on. Bitcoin's back at 87. That was a terrible, terrible drop yesterday, but we should have a nice recovery into today. Hopefully. A minute to open. No other reports I'm going to be taking a look at. SPY and Qs pretty much have the same gap fill report. 0.64 versus 0.67 because we're gap down point in the second bracket on Qs, and we're gap down in that same second bracket 0.23% on SPY. Gold, don't know why I'm looking at that. You're up 200 on Pizza Hut. Does Pizza Hut have a ticker? I had no idea. What's going on to everybody? Coming in from X. Pizza Hut. Domino's Pizza. Trending down a little bit more. As long as we stay above 0.38 within the next 17 seconds, we're still within that second bracket. We don't have any inside bar stat. We're below previous day's low now, so that stat won't be fulfilled. It'll be an open outside of previous day's range. What's going on, Morelito? How you doing? I remember that name. So I'm looking for a move up to preferably London high and do something like that. I want to see that gap fill stat. I also want to see we swept news lows. I want to see a sweep of that Newsweek high and then a continuation up. And that is subject to change. We will be able to switch that bias up. We opened just under previous day's low, so no long there. Also, not much of a reason. I just had a Steve, are you in here today? Gold's pushing like crazy, Dev. I just had like a 2-hour call yesterday with Steve. I don't know if he's in the call right now. He's not. About not trading the opening candle unless you are dead certain, which even then, not really much reason to go heavy on the opening candle, but unless you're dead certain on the opening candle's direction, there's no reason to be trading it. Yep. Yeah, I am, Hunter. So first level we're going to be looking for is right there, 610.46. That's the gap fill. 70 cents to go on that. So today's a no-go trade, 10 a.m. No-go before 10 a.m. Yeah, we have where is it? 9:45 PMI and then 10 business inventories. Don't tempt me with gold. I don't want to go and look at it again. Just about got the gap fill. SPY is at the same exact level. 680.68 is the gap fill for SPY. Close Discord down over here. Frenchie's looking for a CSD, CISD, CISD. If we hit 610.46, that fulfills the gap fill report, which we don't really need to target much more upside after that. That's the inside bar, sorry. Gap fill, just about filled. Distance to target, $1.14. We missed it by, I mean, we filled like 90% of it, 95%. Top Step's lagging. Project X probably doing the same thing. Stair 1 the same. Oh yeah, that's way off. This is showing. This is showing up at those equal highs. This one is not even close. This is almost at that pre-market little momentary dip we just had. All right, it's coming back down a little bit now. You were right, Sam. Thank you for the shout there. It's lagging significantly. So coming up on, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably January. I'm going to do it with the funds that I get from this Lucid payout. I'm going to start those 20 Apex accounts. It's going to be all 25K accounts. 25K accounts with 1,500 drawdown. I don't really think there's much of a reason to go and get the 50Ks. 25Ks are where I'm going to use, and it's just going to be aiming for $50 a day, $100 a day, because that's a winning trading day. That's after the eval. Obviously, I'm going to figure out what we're going to do to pass those. It's 1,500 to pass, so probably just size up by 5x on the evals, because I think it's like $19. Yeah, minimum amount's $50 to have. That's why I'm going to aim for 50 a day on the 25K accounts. But if you do, and it's really simple when you look at it in this perspective, $50 a day times 20 accounts is still $1,000 a day. You only need to do that for 40 trading days to meet their requirements for the max payout on all 20 accounts. And you can up it to 60 if you wanted to. That would increase it by 20%, or decrease the time to get the payout by 20%. You can increase it to $75 a day, which is still, that's 25 points on 1M&Q, or 12.5 points on 2M&Q. $50 a day for 40 trading days is 2 months, just under 2 months. It's like 63 days, or not 63, it's like 58 days, 57 days. Just under 2 months for a $30,000 payout. That's the call that I had with Steve yesterday. I can't believe I haven't been thinking about it in this perspective, but after you pass the accounts, obviously. And it's $84 per account, so not bad at all. I'll plug my phone back in here. $32. Those will be 25Ks, Eddie. 25K accounts. I think I already answered this, but today, a no-go to trade before 10 a.m. for you. I'm probably going to be sitting in the same position unless we get a move all the way up over that data high. Just about got the fill, missed it by 4 cents, and there's the gap fill right there. So this report is fulfilled, 68%. That's because we were in the second bracket, or 67%, sorry. I really want to see a move up to that data high, sweep that, and then preferably pivot up to previous day's 50. That's what I want to see. We do have data in 8 minutes. Pretty significant data in 8 minutes. 5 minute, perfect retest off of London 50. I'm starting to get convinced to use the 5 minute Rollins for that London 50. Why are you denied, Roland? I feel like that's my only worry, is that's a pretty common mishap with them. I lost too much on one day, over 50% of the account. No, that's not. I mean, you just have to wait another 10 days, right? Or 5 trading days, whatever it is. Screener is reading. I'm getting all the ad pop-ups on here again because I opened it on a new computer. Screener is reading slightly bullish right now. We have pretty much bullish on all individuals, minus Netflix, Avgo, and Amazon. The orb forming. A lot of good reports coming up. Gap filled by size. That's already done. Pretty nice rejection off the gap fill. If we can get a closure over yesterday's close, actually, 610.41, could target up to 611.81. Could take an entry there. Trade another 8 days. Yeah, that's what Steve said happens quite a few times. I've got denied plenty of times. I'm going to get denied this time around after yesterday too. That's just another 8 more days, 5 days over 50. Can't even load Top Step X. Loose is working right now. Top Step's down. Shame. I'm trying to get the camera up for you guys in here. It's not working. Oh, detailed view. Tried using the what's in play section. You can see the gap, which is in play directly on detailed view. Oh, yes. Yes. Why is it not? Why did it disconnect me? I haven't gotten quite into all the new updates yet, but this, it's already filled, so it's not up on top quite yet or anymore. It was showing what's in play up here for the detailed view on this report. But since we filled it already, we fulfilled that stat, it's no longer there. I'm assuming that's the reasoning behind it. Hard rejection, could not quite get the gap fill on SPY, but hard rejection off London 50 on SPY as well. Does anyone in the stream know if Lucid's working with Tradeify, or is it a Lucid Tradeify, any other Project X accounts, or is it just Top Step that's down? Let's see what Frenchie said. Said CFD would, or CSISD would confirm shorts. I think it's just Top Step. Lucid's working. Working as far as I'm using it. Gotcha. Top Step's literally always down. It is. It very much is. They have some bad internal issues. I'm actually, later today, I'm going to release my review for all the ones I've gotten payouts from. And some that I haven't gotten payouts from, but I think the review there is still valid because I used it quite a bit. Right now, I think the easiest ones to get the payouts from, Lucid and Tradeify. And the reason I say that, Top Step obviously has extremely easy rules to get a payout. You only need, someone posted this in their chart. That's funny, or in their chat. Top Step obviously has super easy rules. Once you get funded, you only need $150 a day for it to qualify as a trading day. 5 of those, you can take whatever size payout you want. Minimum, I think, is $100. The only reason that I have them ranked, I'm going to have them ranked as low as I do, they have the worst customer support that I've ever gone through. And 9 times out of 10, when they have an issue like this, customer support will do nothing for you. They'll refine it to a trade that you had for whatever time frame. Apex I haven't used yet, so I don't have a review on them. All right, Tesla, really nice wick up. Let's see if we get that 5-minute opening inversion, which we did. For those of you that don't know, this is a strategy I found forever ago. I need to start using it again. I say this every time. Is Wyatt in here? He is not. I say it every time I see the chart. Whatever the opening 5-minute candle is for Tesla, if the opening 5-minute candle is red, inverse it for the second 5-minute candle. So as soon as that first 5-minute candle closes and it closes red, you buy calls in the second candle, pops right back up $5. Obviously secure that whenever you want. If the opening 5-minute candle is green, you wait for the second 5-minute candle to close and you inverse the direction of that candle. So first 5-minute candle was green, second 5-minute candle closed green, you inverse that candle. And that one closed green as well, so you go short. And that one was only $1.50 drop. It did drop a little bit more, down to $4.72 yesterday. Kind of the same thing on Friday. It didn't really work, but somewhat did. Didn't work all that well last week. Maybe don't look at last week for the strategy, but I promise you it is a good back-tested strat for quite some time from me. I just don't use it because I don't really trade options anymore. I just sell them. Top step is down right now, wall dive. Don't look at it that way, Steve. Said I was just about to enter short, but decided not to because of news, down 30 points immediately. It's okay. It's okay. There will be another trade, I promise. "29 seconds to PMI. We are reading, I'll go over the screener. Right now we are reading 25% bullish. Mostly neutral because most of the stats haven't formed yet. Okay, there is our PMI report. Not really anything. We're over London 50. We rejected off the gap fill stat though. Now we're getting a little continuation down. Let's see what that news came out with. I like going to Walter Bloomberg on X. Delta 1. Why am I not logged in on here? All right, PMI. Oh, these are all way back. Okay, I guess that won't be coming in. We'll just use the report on Trader Hub. PMI missed. We had 51.8, 52.9, 53. They were all misses. Still positive though. They're over 50%, which means that they're still bullish. If they get under 50%, then that's a bearish data report. As long as they're over 50, they're still okay. And then something else that I did want to add in, we do have data at 10 o'clock as well. So CME Fed Watch, we're expecting another rate cut for January. Next one's 43 days away, so it's still ways out. But oh, it pivoted. Never mind. I ate my words right there. 73% chance that we don't get a rate cut now. This was sitting at 60-40. So we must have had some news. Maybe the bonds being sold by Japan. Those might have had an influence on this. And then there's something else I was going to pull up there too. I can't remember it. Well. Ooh, nice wick. Oh. Yeah, I got it immediately. Fear Greed Index. After yesterday's drop, we're all the way back down to extreme fear. That doesn't seem right. That was all the way back down at bright red yesterday. Why is it at 51 now? Oh, that would be why. It says our put call ratio is currently sitting at 890,000. 883,923, meaning that for every single put that is bought, we have, there we go. It's refreshed now. I was wondering how long it was going to stay like that. So this should be back at fear to extreme fear, which is what I was sitting at yesterday. That was funny. That's funny stuff. Oh, no, it's back up there now. You guys will just have to take me for my word there. 890,000. That would mean that for every put is bought right now, we'd have 890,000 calls. I'm more happy about the fact that I did wait. Yeah, see, if you had shorts, you would have been momentarily happy. You might have hit your PT. I don't know what that might have been, but based on the call that we had yesterday, Steve, you're not looking for scalps anymore. You're looking for actual thorough price targets with smaller positions. Good. You waited. Creeping up more bullish on the overall daily bias right now. Let's see if we can refresh it at all. I'm still sitting at 25%. That would have been a decent long. I think we would have been stopped out. It's 35 points was, that wick was well over 35 points. So if I had entered at that London 50, would have been stopped out on that wick low. If you guys want to know a little breakdown course on, or just a quick course on how you break down PMI, 50% is the baseline. Over 50%, that's the reading that this comes out at, 50 or sub 50. Over 50 means it's bullish. Under 50 means it's bearish. So we came in at 52.9, 51.8, 53. Even though those were lower than the previous, they're still in a bullish position. That's why they came in with a bullish read right now. Did have an initial wick lower, but if these are like 48, 49, then we're in a bad situation. But them coming in over 50 is a good read, I'd say. Okay, we need a little pullback, preferably or not pullback, sorry, a little push back up to that data high, 611.82. That will be my short-term target here. No entry model because we're in no man's land right now. London 50, previous days 50. We don't have anything near that. Here comes 611.82. I still trade options too. We still sell options. I know we haven't been very active with it recently, but I do have that TSLA position open right now, which is going to be like 6,000 profit this Friday. And then all the ones that we have are down significantly. I have HIMS, it's down like 30%. Bulls down like 35%, 25%, something like that. And then my worst one right now is MSTX. This is down, I think it might even be over 50% based on MSTR. Just need Bitcoin to recover. And there is price target 1. It would have been a really nice long off London 50. I think I would have been swept out regardless. Closure over data highs, and I'm going to target up to previous days 50. Might even go down to the 5-minute for this. So data highs just got swept. We might scratch what I just said, we might turn bearish now for a little bit. If we need a closure over on the 5-minute, maybe even the 3-minute, but we need to get over the data high. Maybe right there, a little push over 611.25 or 611.05. Perfect sweep of that data high. So now we might come all the way back down to London 50. It's dependent on where we close this candle. Business inventories, I don't think will be that significant of a data point at 10. So we won't have to worry too much about the volatility with that report. I don't think so anyway. 10 o'clock. U.S. business inventory is only an orange note. PMI is red folder. And then whatever this is, unusual activity live webinar. These ones, believe it or not, tonight we have a lot of reports coming out from Japan at 6:50 to 7 o'clock. So if you are planning on trading Asia, just know that we will have a decent amount of volatility just after Glopex open tonight. And probably avoid that. Perfect sweep of that data high. Been a really good short opportunity. One thing that has been, I think I told you, I might have missed this point yesterday actually, Steve. Stick with one direction. If you guys notice, I don't really play, like just reading the screen right now or reading what the print is, expecting up to 611.81. Why didn't I play up to 611.81? We didn't have any valid entries. We're in between London 50, previous day's low, previous day's 50, London high. You can have price targets and you can practice looking at the chart and analyzing where price is going to go without making a play. It's just practice. Just increase your skill, increase how you're going to be able to. Oh man. Sorry, I just lost train of thought. Tradeify and Lucid just said halting. Don't tell me that. Technical announcements. They're halting trading on Project X right now? Is that what I just saw? We're temporarily halting all Project X trading due to platform issues. Our team is actively working on a fix. Please avoid trading your Project X accounts until further notice. That was from Tradeify. Son of a gun. Anyway, what I was getting at, do not go and try to catch every single move that you see. Don't try, okay, I saw that my price target at 611.89 got hit. I'm immediately going to close the long that I was in and go short and target a little pullback back down because we hit a resistance. We should have like a 20-point pullback. After that pullback, okay, I'm going to expect it to pivot back to the upside. Now that we're pivot back to the upside, I'm going to go long. Don't try to flip-flop in between long shorts, long shorts, long shorts. Just master one direction, which I really just like going long. And then if you want to as well, which is what I started doing, and I get a lot of flack for this. If you want to go long, or if you want to go short, just invert the chart. And now your short setups become long setups. And you can do that by Alt-I. I know it seems silly, but it's a little psychological factor. And the other thing that you guys will notice on my chart as well, and this is something that I highly recommend, change the color of your red candles to anything but red. Same thing goes for red P&L. If you have red on Project X or if you have red on Apex, everything's customizable that you can get rid of the color red. The color red automatically, unfortunately, you can't get rid of the red tickers over here. These ones I don't really get impacted by though. The color red instinctively activates an instinctive measure in your brain that says that I need urgency or I need to urgently get in or out of something right now. It just activates a part in your brain that is not something that you want for trading. I wicked out. Hopefully for not too bad of a loss, Steve. I'm waiting for a close over 611.85 and then we can go long. I don't know what I'm going to be able to trade it on though, because they're saying not to trade on Tradeify. Lucid hasn't said anything. You don't know much about trading, but you definitely want to do it for a living. It is one of the better decisions I've made, albeit I'm only 26, but are you going to try to pass Apex accounts fast? I think for the Apex accounts, I don't know. you build bad habits when you try to pass them fast. So I think what I'm going to do is, given that they're $19 a piece, as opposed to like an $85 account from anywhere else, I'm not going to go and do 4 NQ on a 25K account. I'm probably going to just size up from the 2 to 4 MNQ that we've been doing to probably 1 to 1.5 NQ. Like yesterday on the IB, I got another entry at 50% of the IB after the stream was ended. And this one candle, 120 points, one MNQ, $240, 2 MNQ, 480. I had 4 MNQ on it, so it was an $800 trade. There's no reason that you need to be taking 4 NQ contracts or 2 NQ contracts even on a 120 point move. That's a $4,000 trade. But at the same time, that means that only 30 points in the opposing direction, that's your max loss limit. No risk, no Rari. Okay. Then you can't call it full port. You guys are wild. All right, we got a closure over. I want to retest back down to London high. This is no longer a sweep because we closed over that level. Retest it, and then we can expect to move back up to previous day's 50. We do have some data right now as well. Our IB stat, which is another reason that I'm leaning bullish. Our current IB buy rejection stat on Qs for Tuesday. We have the low form first. It's bullish on the screener as well. There's our retest right there. I'm going to try, I'm just going to go in with 1 for right now. 1 MNQ. And then we're going to target up to, that was a pretty late entry on that. We're going to target up to previous day's 50, which should be, looks like it's about 50% of this tweezer candle that we have right here. So 450. That's what I'm going to be targeting. And then we'll slap a $100 loss on that. Main reason that I'm also leaning bullish. So going back over to that IB stat, 77% chance that we go and take out the high today because the low was formed first. So good retest there. And then we'll monitor the QQQ chart. If this one goes and hits previous day's 50, then we'll have an exit right there. IB stat, I do want to maintain long today as well. So if we get any pullback, any sizable pullback on that. Oh, this is going to go and hit that data low, isn't it? No, it's going to pull back for us. You live trade on Monday and Friday? I do, Anthony, yes. So for the IB stat, I'm going to look for a pullback to IB 50 anyway. And then once we add into that position, we're going to do 2 MNQ on this. This is just a test trying to look up for previous day's 50 with a retest of London high, which may not work out at the moment. We'll see. 2 minutes left in the 5 minute. What's the data reading? Beat on those as well. Don't really want to add into this if it's going to be a losing position. So there's no reason to risk more on it. Well, Lucid didn't say anything about not trading on them, did they? Please avoid trading. That was on Tradeify. Trading it on Lucid, though. Son of a gun. Yeah, pull back when we didn't need it. That's okay. IB50 is what I'm going to be looking for anyway. That was worth a attempt there. We have 30 minutes until the IB's formed. So any sizable pullback is going to be maintaining long for me. Sorry about that little loss to start the day. Size down with 1 MNQ. but we will make it on the IB trade for today. 596 people in here. Holy. Oh, you guys can't even trade right now. Maybe I'll get lucky enough that they end up wiping that trade. That'd be nice. Top step X is down. Tradify X is down. Just had to wait a little bit longer on the pullback, sadly. 478. No, I feel kind of bad because I've had repeat losses on this stream, but it's not. It's just little nicks, thankfully. Par for the course. That was similar to the wick that we got, the sweep that we got on the London 50 as well. That's just unfortunate with the size of it. Size down to 1 MQ, which also increased what our stop loss would have been, or was. So 50 points, having a 50-point pullback with a reasonable level. No longer a sweep of Newswick high because we closed over it. So that's a validation for us to have a nice continuation up to previous day's 50, which previous day's 50 is also well below 50% of that 4-hour fair value gap. Just got a little unlucky with that. And SPY also got a closure over its previous day's gap. So Top Step have 1 hour still in their community chat. That's usually what they do. It's usually what happens. It's coming all the way back over now. 611.45. I really want to get a long entry again. Almost at IB 50, but that is so unfortunate right there. It's almost green on where we had that entry. IB high with the, I'm actually going to go into the settings because I completely forgot I could do this. Don't really need all these ones on. If we have a day where we go and hit over 2 standard deviation, then there's something else going on, even 1.5 standard deviation. Turn this on. So with our IB stat right now, we don't have it filled out quite yet. There we go. 0.5. I'll just put these ones on. Once the IB forms, then we'll have our stats. But for right now, the size of it, IB low to IB high. Half a standard deviation is going to be all the way up to 615. Just need to wait for that to form. So unfortunate on that wick. That was a nice entry as well. %50 of the move retested. Perfect. That's just so unlucky. There's not much I can do about that. That was a perfectly valid entry with the IB as well. The only thing that I missed maybe was the 25.4, which I don't know if it hit after we got in the trade. We entered at 10.55, so no, it did not hit 25.4. There was no psych level rejection there. Just unlucky. Simple as that. Well, if we get an additional closure here, then I'm going to go long again. I'm going to target up to previous day's high, or previous day's 50, not previous day's high, sorry. This is a pretty small range right now. This is only, never mind. It's 200 points. So if we get a retest down to 50% of the IB again, it'll be a 100-point trade. $14 move on ES. You just got Project X back again. It's back up. There you go. You're going to be done for the day right there, Steve. Good. Good. Mm-hmm. Actually, for a Tuesday, I read that wrong. That's my bad. For a Tuesday, we have an 87.5% chance on the IB high getting taken, which is way over what the average is. Average is 75%. So this is actually overdue a loss for a Tuesday for the low being formed first. So we might not take another long entry. What's SPY sitting at? Tell her my face game's on. It will be overdue a loss for the IB high today. So if we get a move up to, like, say we get all the way back up to 612.31, we can target down to the downside. What I mean by this is if we go to the IB and just read it for the whole week, I always get questions regarding this and why I sometimes inverse the stat. The average for SPY, 66%. The average for Qs, 74%. So with this showing that we have a, just on a Tuesday, for this showing on a Tuesday that we have a 87%, that means that it's overdue a loss. Still have 20 minutes for the form the low as well. That was a perfect retest of 610, which is 50% of the IB as well. And that's that pre-market consolidation. We'll give it a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't have any loss during outage. Oh, you mean as in something that they would refund? I gotcha. Could trade MES on this pullback as well. To try an entry at 50% or not? Tricky. It's a 100-point pullback from that high now. I'm tempted. Oh, I completely forgot to add in. Yesterday was the first, and this, I've been trading the IB for 6 months now. Yesterday was the first day that I have personally seen the initial balance breakout not happen in 6 months worth of trading. So we had the initial balance form the first hourly candle, 9:30 to 10:30. That range never got broken yesterday, and that's only for the initial balance breakout. That's bookmarks too. That previously was a 1.6% chance of not happening. Now it's up to a 2.3 because it happened yesterday. It went from 2 out of 127 to 3 out of 127. Very impressive, though, for how rare of a day yesterday was. That was a 1% outcome, and we ended up hitting it. Never broke the IB low. And having it hit after hours does not count because it's just during New York session. It's just a stat during New York session. Tempted to try one right now, but I'm gonna respect the fact that this is skewed by 12%. So this is overdue a loss on the IB low getting taken. What we can do is I want to see if it can get up to 612.46, and then we can try all the way down to the IB low. Have that be a reversion to the mean. I was in 1 MNQ long at open for 4-hour fair value. I got high TP, but couldn't set a stop loss. I getcha. That stinks. Take a look at RTY IB stats. They're insane. IWM. Oh, those are pretty good too. 78% for today. I think RTY and IWM are the same thing. Same thing. Yeah, they are. About the same. So the entry that I'm going to try, we do have 15 minutes until the IB's formed. The entry that I'm going to try and attempt at is if we get all the way up within a couple cents of that IB, and then we can target the low. And our stop loss, if that trade does go and hit, our stop loss is going to be a break of the IB high at 25,408. This is obviously it's going against the data. This is showing 87%, but this is over a 6-month time frame. This isn't nearly as accurate as it should be over a 5-year time frame. And this is why I'm saying we need a reversion back down to the mean once it loads. If it ever does load. Come on. This is also why I use the 6-month measure instead of always swapping between reports on the 5-year time frame because it takes forever. So even on a 5-year time frame for a Tuesday, this is 6% over. 6-month time frame, 87.5%. 13 minutes to go and take a low right now. Get rid of that. Tesla's pumping yet again. Top step chat, funny AF. Your TP hit during hours was $60. Okay, nothing new in the development quite yet. I don't know. I'm tempted to take a long off of. I don't need that charger actually. My phone's fine. I'm tempted to take a long off of London 50 previous day's low. Can't believe we didn't go up and hit previous day's 50. But the stat will completely switch if we go and target a new low in the next 11 minutes. Then I'm going to be looking for a pullback up into London 50 and target down to previous day's low. Or London low, excuse me. Rather unlucky with that wick down. 5-minute had a closure over, 15-minute had a closure over. And it still ended up being a sweep. Just saying. Still sitting at 1250 on the day. The 50% of the London session, if so, what start and finish time is New York. How did my mic switch like that? Sorry if my mic was quiet that whole time. I didn't know it turned sideways. London 50, what I use for that time frame is, it's really just pre-market, but I call it London 50 because pre-market is London. And then you have your New York extended open at 4 a.m. London opens at 3:30, I think, or 3 a.m. So pre-market measure 4 a.m. candle to the 9:30 candle, not the 9:30 open, the 9:30 end. So the close of the 9:15 candle right at 9:30. That gives you your London 50. Any low or high made in that time frame, that 50% mark typically has quite a few reactions at it. And that's where we're almost at right now. We could take another long right there at London 50 because it's had some nice bounces. And then the stop would be a closure below it on the 5-minute. You're in an order on Top Step and can't close it out. Yikes. Could try a long at London 50 right now. That's what we're perfect wick off of 608.83. What was that bounce there? About 20 points almost immediately. A decent bounce. NVDA cash here at 30%. We're waiting for 50% on it, Sam. NVIDIA's holding up really well. They didn't really have any downside yesterday when the whole market was down as much as it was. And then we're still holding green today, even though Q's is slightly red. So pretty good move on that. SPY, let's see. They make a new low on the IB, just about there. 8 minutes left on Q's. Perfect bounce off London 50. Not really another reaction. I can't look at the Top Step chat. I'm banned from there, Abe. I wish I could. All right, there's our previous day's low hit as well. 7 minutes, we might go and form a new IB low, so let's wait and watch. Good sweep of London 50. That was such an unfortunate wick. I think we were only up like 10 points at the peak too, so it wasn't even that good of a trade. That's funny. Why'd they ban me? Some PO box, the ambassador that's in there, PO box 4, banned me for whatever reason. I have no idea what the exact reason behind it is, but I can't go and look at the streams anymore or the chats. I do get a kick out of watching the chats when their platform goes down because people are really funny with the memes they put in there. It's down again. Tradeify's having issues as well. You don't know why I refreshed. Oh, I mean, if they're down, don't trade on it. Best you're going to get is them saying, well, reset your losing trades. I cannot believe we're about to go and take that IB low. So this IB low stat now, if we go and form the high, this one is in line with what the average is. So we can definitely take a new IB low right there. That's crazy. Now, what we're looking for is a pullback into London 50 and down. Can you trade through news and Tradeify? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. The only accounts that I know of that you cannot trade news on is a Lucid Direct. You can't trade within 2 minutes of news, I believe, or a minute of news. And then Alpha Futures, if you don't get the advanced account, they do not let you trade through news. And there might be one more. Oh, Ola Prime. Those are the ones that I've used that don't let you trade through news. You could have entered full port short. Apex doesn't like news. There's another one. Anyone else know any platforms that you can't trade news on? Tradeify you can. I know for a fact that you can trade news on Tradeify. Tradeify growth, anyway. I don't use the instant funded on Tradeify. All right, so we have a new IB low formed on both SPY and Qs. We have 3 minutes left. We really want a good pullback on this next 3 minutes. SPY hopefully gets up to London low, and then Qs really want to get back to London 50. I'm not at all upset about that loss that we just took, just because it was a very good, I thought it was a good entry. We closed over that news sweep. We got the price target that we wanted, had a closure over on the 15-minute and 5-minute, wick down, ended up closing, pushing up to a new high, and then we rejected off of 25.4 for a psych level. So the stat that we are following now, I'll repeat it one more time. The stat that we're following is 77% chance that we take the IB low because the high was formed first. That is this IB stat on Qs. What we want for this trade is a pivot up, and I'm actually going to go to 2M and Q on this. If we do get a pivot, this is our current IB low. Horizontal array, draw that in. Where's my magnet? Weak magnet. There we go. IB low, that is the target that we're going to have for the low, and then our IB high is that level on M and Q. So we want to pull back up to London 50 preferably. Where's my color on here? That's sad. I'll just change it to that. That's close enough. We want to pull back up to London 50 preferably, and then we can take a short. Not going to skew a risk reward on this. This is going to be from where we are right now. This is a 30-point drop. The higher that we pull back, the more we pull back, the higher our reward gets. Not really not all that happy with entering that close to the IB, because several times I've seen it almost take the IB low or high and then pivot to this opposing side. So best case, we get a pullback up to London 50, even a pullback to previous day's low. I'll take the trade. And then the price target's going to be down to 25,176. Right now, this is coming up to 40 points, which is on 2MQ 160. Frenchie short worked out. Too bad he couldn't trade it. Poor guy. He's been doing really well. All right, get me up to London 50 here. There we go. It's a good pullback. I'm going to go ahead and take it right there. And we're going to be targeting down to IB low, and we're going to put a 150 stop on this. So short 2 to IB low. We're below previous day's low right now. We got 22 seconds. I guess I got in a little early. And PT is going to be down to IB low. And then if this one ends up hitting, I'll be done for the day. It'll be 2 losses. But we are short 2 IB low. The reason being 77% chance that we go and take that level. Our entry is 25,233. There's our London 50 rejection as well. Don't give me another pullback up. That would be very rude. Oh, it's going to hit, isn't it? It's close. Short 2MQ to IB low. Stop 150. Could have gotten a much better entry on this, I think. A little slight impatience on that. But we're getting the rejection at London 50 now, which is what I wanted. We just wait. Trade day doesn't let you trade news either. London 50 would have been a much better entry, yes. I would have avoided most of that downside right there. 77% chance we go to IB low. Price target is 25,176. Stat right here. How do I get that panel buy market, sell market, your layout default? What panel? Oh, over here on the right. This is the order tab on Project X. Don't keep pulling back, please. Just give me the rejection down. I don't really want to trade after 2 losses if this one does end up being a loss. I got in, might have been a little too early, but pivot to 50% of the IB is also a really good entry. So I might take that entry there as well. It's going to hit the stop right there. Shoot. I might give it one more go. I don't really want to trade after 2 losses, though. Closure over previous day's low. One try with 1 MNQ, what would that be? Or 1 MNQ, I mean. 150, IB 50. Way to bounce off London low on SPY as well. 2 MNQ might be a little too. It's a 100-point stop. Try it with 1 again. Stop's going to be IB high, and TP is going to be IB low. We'll just let that run for a while. That one probably will hit, or probably won't hit until after the stream's over. But yet again, looking at this stat right here, and just in for 1. If it pivots up a little bit more, I might add another one. Slightly breaking a rule there. So short 1 MNQ to IB low, stop's going to be IB high, and we're basing it off of this stat right here. It's going to be a break-even day if we do get filled. And then definitely be done. Stop loss at IB high. If I was a little more patient on that and got the entry at London 50, we would have been in that trade still, and it would have avoided that loss. I think Sam said they're back down. If you trade passively, not in a greedy way, then why not buy Lightning? I think there's more reward to the growth accounts. What's going on, Razan? How you doing? So entry on this one was 25,277. There's more reward on the growth accounts because it incentivizes you to not just chase the first payout. You want to get 7,500 for the first payout. Second payout's going to be 10,000. Third payout's going to be 12,500. And the upfront cost, I'm not a really big fan on the account itself, how much they are. Don't even say that. Back-to-back days of it not breaking. That would be terrible. Could add into the winning trade too. Sasso says that Top Step's back down. They're not up. Could take the same trade on SPY. SPY has a IB high stat, so 73% chance that we're going to take the low as well, right there. I think we just got a little unlucky on the wicks today, both sides. This pullback is what I was looking for, and that also goes into why I was saying I don't like entering when it's 10, 20, 30 points away from the low or high being taken, because that's drastically skewing your risk reward on the trade. This is an ideal setup because you're at just about 50% of the IB. Basically just retested it perfectly, actually. What strategy do I use? This IB stat right here. And then also London 50, which we did good closure over previous day's low. That might invalidate it a little bit. Same with SPY. Size down. No reason to size up too much. If you guys remember from the beginning of the stream, this is why I changed the color up here. I changed the color of my red P&L to blue just so I don't get incentivized to do something stupid when the color's red. So we're waiting for the IB low to get taken right now, which it has a 75% chance of doing so. And we're coming on down. I think we got stopped. So 271, we got stopped out by 12 points. If I would have entered at previous day's low, or even if I had gotten the entry at London 50, we would have still done that first trade and it would have avoided this loss right now. It's up 100 at the moment. Probably just going to leave it as is for now. It's a 50-point trade to start. Perfect 4-hour rejection from EMA. Further confluence. SPY, we could take the same trade. That one looks a little better coming on down as well. A little weaker on SPY, but that's dragging Qs with it, so it's fine. If this one hits, then it's going to be a break-even day, and we'll be done there. No reason to trade after that. This will be a winning day as well, $50, $60. One NQ lot would have blown an account right there. That would have been, I took a $150 loss. That would have been a $1,500 loss on one NQ. Can you explain the trade? Yeah. Let me get a little picture of this in here real quick. All right, so the trade itself switched from a long bias to short because we went and took a new IB low. And the stat is, it's very easy to read, 60-minute IB high formed first. Okay, we go over to this chart. We had the high formed first and then the low. The high formed at 612.58. The low formed here at 607.01. Also, we're up 120 on this trade right now. So we can go ahead and move the stop to break even. It's like a 75-point trade right now. Stop loss at break even on that. High form first, we have a 77.78% chance of having the first break be the IB low right there. So go over to look at the chart, high formed, then low. We're targeting down to the low because we have this stat telling us it's a 77% chance. And then we also go over to the just inside bar breakout by itself. This stat has a 78% chance of breaking one time, 18% chance of having a double break, meaning that price would come all the way back up and break that high after breaking the low. And then we also have only a 2% chance that it doesn't happen, which is what happened yesterday, crazy enough. Looking at that stat, it means that 98% of the time, 97.5% of the time, price only breaks, or 78% of the time, price only breaks one direction. 98% of the time, the first hourly open range will break. So yesterday we didn't do it. We should definitely do it today. I can't imagine we have 2 back-to-back days. I would assume this is going to go and break right here, which is what we're targeting, and then it goes and breaks the previous low that formed. And ideally, we also go down to 604 flat, which is half a standard deviation on that IB. Should go over to initial balance breakout, sub report by levels. I got to add this to bookmarks as well. For a Tuesday, we have an 80% chance of going to half a standard deviation. So we could honestly move the PT. We could move the PT down to 604. We have an 80% chance that price goes and breaks that level. It's bouncing off 25.2. It's a little unfortunate. So actually, I'll secure if we have a closure over 25.2 on the 5-minute time frame. But we should pretty easily go down and take that low. 25.2 just needs to break. Curious as to why you don't use extension levels for your profit targets. Well, that's what I was actually just talking about Vegas. Sorry about that. The reason I typically don't use extension targets is because Tuesday, obviously, we have an 80% chance. I just showed that. Most other days, though, like I'm just going to pull up a Thursday, for instance. Thursday, if we have a breakdown, this is our chance of going further past that IB stat. Does that make sense? So yes, I can squeeze more out of the trade, which I might move it down right now. I'm not sure. We can squeeze more out of the trade by lowering the PT or increasing the PT, I mean. Most days, you have a very slim chance of proceeding to half standard deviation or even 0.2. So if I go to Thursday or Friday, for instance, you just read Thursday, this is what Friday's chances are. So we have a 40% chance that price continues past the IB. Give me the close below 25.2, please. So the stat itself, the IB stat itself, 97.7% chance that we have a break of the IB. Yesterday, we did not break it, but you can still see that price started trending towards that downside. Today, we should have a break of it. I'm tempted to secure it a little early right now just because 25.2 is kind of serving as support, but we should still go and see that IB low. I'll give it a 5-minute candle. If it wicks off 25.2 again, then I'm just going to secure the trade and maybe get a re-entry on a wick up. Actually, I'm just going to go and do that now. This is wicking off that same level again. We got 100 on the trade. So I'm going to look for the IB low getting taken. Preferably, we get a little re-entry up here as well. 20. You can see the support that we're bouncing off right here. If we get a closure underneath that level, then I'll further increase the size maybe. But 25.2 psych level is what we're bouncing off of. That's also the Newswick low right here. A good little win on that. We're down 49 right now. Little unlucky on that other entry with 2M and Q, but not much we can do about that. I think that was up 150. And there's been several times where I've seen price get this close to the IB and not break it. SPY's bouncing off the low. Especially if we get a closure over London 50 right here, then it's not going to be as likely to push right down to it. We might be able to get a re-entry. You can see that you very easily see the support that we're bouncing off of, both support levels. So if we get a push up to 50% of it again, I'll re-enter. It's a nice little pivot candle on the 5-minute. IB is yet to break. 604.20, 604.30, almost up to 50% again. This is a bear flag on the 5-minute as well. So we can go ahead and re-enter that same trade. Target's going to be IB low. Stop loss we'll put at the IB high. And we just managed to squeeze $100 out of that trade. If this one hits again, then it's 200 profit. 15 minutes left. An additional re-entry. This one's almost perfectly at 50% of the IB, which is usually where I like entering. Sorry if the keyboard's super loud. I don't usually use this one. Got an actually 5-point better entry than that first trade. This is a pretty easy bear flag, but you can see these two support levels that we just bounced off of right there. Pretty nasty. Both of them. 25-2 psych level as well. And then if this one ends up not breaking the IB stats, back-to-back days of a low stat hitting, or not breaking the IB low, because we have the IB by rejection stat here. There we go, by rejection, 77%. Pretty much break even at the moment. If we get a 5-minute or 15-minute closure over 50%, then I'll get out prior to it hitting IB high as well. So it's not going to be that big of a risk for this trade, unless somehow in the next 2 minutes we break all the way up to the IB high. And that would be something wild. But the risk on this should be like $30 if we don't end up closing below this 50. Good rejection. Back to break even on that now. If you guys take anything away from these streams, I hope that it's showing you what you can do with 1 to 2 MNQ. It does not need to be crazy sizing, because the IB trades every single day that we have them form. Well, we have them form every single day. You have an IB trade every single trade. You have an IB trade every single day of the week. The first 60 minutes, that gives you your range that you're taking a high or low break on. Most of these ranges are 200 points. So if you get an entry at 50% of the IB like we just did, it's a 100-point trade, 1 MNQ, that's $200. You could take that same trade on 2 NQ lot or 1 NQ lot and your stop loss is going to be $1,000, your take profit is going to be $1,000. Maybe you can get away with that on a 150K account, but copy trading accounts like this, you do not need to trade with that much size. Your power comes from copy trading the accounts, not copy trading 10 different accounts with 2 NQ per account. This one's going to take a while to play out or not. It's getting a closure underneath 50% right now on the 5 minute. So we're definitely going to be holding this again. We have 800 people in here from Twitter. Crazy. Okay. Got another 10 minutes on the stream. This one might hit after the stream's done. We'll see. Up 37 right now. 50. There we go. That is a beautiful looking 15-minute candle for shorts. Is there a benefit? Sorry, Vegas, what was your question? Oh, why do you look at QQQ stock data instead of NQ futures? NQ has slippage on it. QQQ, you do not need to have an account linked to TradingView. NQ has slippage though. So if you go and look at an account, let's say MNQ, for example, this morning, look at the slippage that we had on MNQ. And then we look at the same candles on Qs. They look nothing alike from 8:30 this morning. Nothing alike. So I use Qs because there's no slippage on the data feed. It's a nice clear chart. We're up 75 on this one right now. Almost going to move the stop to break even. It peaked at 102, so I should have moved the stop to break even right there. What we could do with this trade, because we have such a high chance on the IB by levels, we have such a high chance of going to, damn it, I'm on Friday. Hold on just a minute. If you're watching this, Andre, if you could add bookmarks for each individual weekday, that would be awesome. If there is a way to do that, then I apologize for my ignorance, but if we could have a way that we could just have individual weekdays, that'd be awesome. We have an 80% chance at going to half a standard deviation, which on QQQ pushes us down to 604.20, which is actually what we can do here. You ready? I'm going to convert it over to MNQ. Rectangle, IB high, IB low. Add the midpoint in, middle line. There we go. So we could move our price target all the way down to here, 425 and 60. But I just want to do the IB itself. That was just a 50-point trade when it hit $100 profit and then came all the way back to break even. If this 15-minute closes over 50% of the IB, I'm going to get out, and then we'll just call it there for the day. I have a feeling this is going to take forever to play out, like the IBs have been. I think that peaked at like 103, 102. Probably should have secured it, but it was looking so good. Spies was dragging Qs up right now. It needs to stop. So we could lower the price target to 604. I prefer just trading the IB breakout itself because that's a 98% stat. It's a lot better. We have 6 minutes. The 1 minute chart has, or the 5 minute chart has a minute left on it. If it closes over 50% of the IB, I'm going to close it and then just call it there for the stream. And we'll have a negative $50 day. Could add in. We have a minute left in the stop loss for it. Could add another MNQ. Anyone know if TopStep will honor your gains before they went down, or do they offer anything for going down? They usually wipe your losing trades. So if you have a winning trade, they won't touch that, but they'll wipe any losing trades that you have. All right, so the risk on this is going to be, needs to stop creeping up as much as it is right now. Probably going to end up taking like a $60, $50 loss on this. And this is why I always try to trail my stop loss. I missed it there, which is unfortunate. I always try to trail my stop to break even once I'm up $100. And this is the main reason why this just turned a $100 win into a $50 loss. All right, so we will close it right there. It's over 50% of the IB. That's where I like taking the entries. And we will be done for the day at 1:15. So I think SPY is the reason that it's getting that support bounce. SPY bounced off of previous day's low. And the 15-minute on Qs doesn't look as good as it did. So I was trading NQ earlier this year and kept blowing my accounts after seeing your post the past few months. I switched to trading 2 to 3 MNQ, and I'm now getting back-to-back payouts. Yeah, absolutely. Glad to hear that, Ramen Muthu. Does Tradeify take wins as well? I honestly have no idea what they're going to do. Tradeify usually honors whatever Project X says, but I should have trailed that stop to break even. Hindsight 2020. That did look really good to go and take that low, especially when that candle was wicked all the way down to 608. And that was a 50-point win, but now it's looking just as likely that we go and pivot all the way up to the high. But that is well over 2 losses on the day, so I will be done there. Negative 115 for the stream. At least we secured the $100 in the other one, though, because this would have gone to break even too. And then obviously we did give it back, so it is what it is. Stats are still saying that we should break the IB low. Not really that upset with the trades today. The long, maybe that one was a little premature, but both the shorts that we had, the 2MNQ one, that one should have made a lot more than it did. And then if I had entered 2MNQ on this again, then it probably would have played out. What you could do is wait for it to creep all the way up to like 25,393. And then you could take 2 or 4 MNQ there with a 10-point stop loss and target all the way back down to the IB low. Those are usually good trade setups, or the best RR you're going to get. So if you guys got affected by that outage today on Project X, they usually honor wins. This is going to wick all the way back down, isn't it? They usually honor wins and void losing trades. Now it's got me tempted to go back in. Yeah, well, no, we're going to close it. We're going to close it. No more trades. Live on to tomorrow. They usually honor winning trades and just void out losing trades. So if you guys are affected by that outage, affected by that issue, you should be handled accordingly. I can't speak on Tradeify, though. Tradeify does whatever Project X says, but if they end up saying that it was just a top step issue like they did last time, then you're kind of screwed either way. So, sorry. 874 on Bull, 36 on Hims. MSCR is back at 171, thankfully. This IB stat looks kind of weird for today. All right, guys. Well, that will do it for the stream today. Any questions for me? Before you go, I'm tired of hearing about Top Step. Stop buying it. That is what I tell everyone. They got rid of reputable platforms and just kind of stuck you on a platform that goes down at least once a week. So, to each his own. Any questions before I head out? Oh, actually, we just got an update right before the stream ended. We just got an update for Project X. Tradeify will be wiping the entirety of today. Sorry, I read that wrong. I'll just read the exact quote. We have had countless resets for Project X, outages and failures the past few weeks, and today traders were able to see price action before it even happened on the Project X platform. We are going to be wiping the trading day entirely at close for everyone, red or green. So if you guys were red or green today, the platform will be wiping your gains. I'll see if Lucid's doing the same thing. I'll ask in chat for them. So if you guys are trading on Tradeify, then your day just got wiped. You lost the trading day. So maybe Lucid will do the same thing. We'll see. What is your schedule on Edgeful Live? I will be live on Edgeful Monday, Tuesday. Not Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 to 11. SPY is rejecting it. It's a previous day's low now. I might get a rejection down here. I don't know if Lucid's going to be doing the same thing. They might. That would be crazy if they do. What if I was in a trade since last night? It goes the same. Yes, it will be. This is not from Top Step. This is from Tradeify. If you guys are trading on Tradeify today with Project X, they will be wiping the entire day, red or green. Lucid will act upon request from Top Step. That's, yeah. I mean, last time it went out, they didn't do anything though. All right, guys, that will do it for today's stream. Thank you for tuning in, as always. Have a great rest of your day. Sorry about the losses that we had today. We will live on to another day tomorrow. IB was meh. Should still go and take the low, but I'm not pushing it. Don't make that make you stay longer. I'm not staying longer. Don't worry. All right, see you guys later.